Kids don't forget.
Kids don't forget.
You kids don't forget.
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 So Chrisilla, how are you today?
I woke up this morning.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Now, did I say your name correctly? Like, what is the actual correct pronunciation of your name?
The pronunciation of my name is Chrisilla.
Chrisilla, that's how you say it.
Priscilla with a C.
Priscilla with a C. So it's Chrisilla.
Correct.
Got it. What have you been called? What are some of the things you've gotten?
Christilla, Crispilla, Christina. None of those have half of the letters in my name, but however, been called that. Along with others, but that's not there.
What were some of your nicknames growing up?
My nicknames were, it depends on what time it was in my life.
Okay.
Chrissy is pretty much it. High school, Scylla.
Okay.
Certain people is Syl. Depends on where I'm at.
Okay.
And by what they call me, I know who they are and where I know them from.
So if you were like in Dallas, Texas right now and somebody say, yo, Syl.
I'm going to be like, somebody graduated with me. Who's that? I might not turn around right away. How do you know I'm there? I didn't put my location on Facebook. How do you know I'm here?
Got it. Typeface? Who calls you typeface?
That's a little Parkside thing. Shout out to y'all.
Parkside, Camden, New Jersey?
Hello.
Okay, so speaking of Camden, New Jersey, is that where you're from?
That is where I'm from.
Okay, born and raised?
Born, raised, and still reside.
Okay, do you claim a specific neighborhood?
No.
No, okay, just
Been
Camden.
to too many, so I'm just Camden. Okay?
Got it.
I don't want to get one spot more mad than the other. I'm from Camden.
Got it.
New Jersey. I forgot there's more than one Camden.
How would you describe Camden growing up for you personally?
For me personally, I think, Camden made me who I am. Even though, I'm from the hood, if you will, I still know how to turn it off and on. I still could be professional, do what I need to do and everything, so I kind of know both roles of it.
So the hood taught you how to adapt.
Exactly.
And you could switch from corporate to ghetto
in a second.
Depending
on if I'm on the clock or not.
Got it. Were you an only child?
No.
No. So
I am the youngest.
You're the youngest. So I want you to imagine that you are 10 years old.
Okay.
List out your siblings by age.
By age, oh yeah, I'm about to be 40. Okay, so my oldest brother still lives in Trinidad.
Okay.
Shout out to Kelvin.
Okay.
He would be, I want to say, when I was 10, he was it 20? I want to say he was 24?
Okay.
23, 24.
23, 24, okay.
And then my next brother, Shane.
Okay.
He would have been either 22, 23.
Okay.
And then my sister, Erica, which would have been 21, 22. They're all back to back. I came years later.
Okay, got it. Wow, so what was that like growing up?
I was spoiled and still am. I was spoiled and still am. I mean, I learned from them because they were way older than me, so I always had someone to go to. It took a while for me to do things on my own.
So let's talk about that. You just mentioned that Kelvin is still in Trinidad today.
Yes.
But we never mentioned Trinidad. So is that where your family is from?
Yes. My mom is from Trinidad.
Your
my
mom's
dad's
from
Grenada.
Your dad's from Grenada. Your mom's from Trinidad. Wow.
Right.
But you're from Camden.
I am from here.
Okay, so they got here.
I'm the firstborn in the U.S.
Okay. And so those your three older siblings were born in Trinidad?
Correct.
Okay. So if your
Well,
dad...
actually, I'm lying to you. My oldest from Trinidad. My other two were the Virgin Islands. I'm sorry, I got to make sure I'm...
Okay, got it. So do you identify as black?
I do.
Okay, got it. So you don't say I'm Trinidadian or I'm Grenadian.
Depends. Sometimes a lot of people still will say, oh, she's from Trinidad. No, I'm not.
Right.
However, I'm the first one born here, but I was raised in a Trinidadian or a Caribbean household.
Got it. Now let's talk about that because a lot of people have no idea what that means. So what was that like?
That means that I never had shepherd pie. Don't judge me. My mom never made that, you
Right,
know.
right.
Our Thanksgiving dinners were different from other Thanksgiving dinners because we didn't make certain things. You know, we made Trinidadian food or,
So you still celebrated Thanksgiving though?
yeah.
Okay,
We just
okay.
kind of put our food into it. Even to this day now when we do have Thanksgiving, now we incorporate a little of the states with, you know, the little Caribbean. So it's a little bit of both.
Examples.
Examples will be, you know, we might have a turkey. We're still going to have salt fish and bake. We're still going to have curry chicken and rice. We're still going to have pilau, peanut punch, sorrel. Shout out to my Trinities.
Okay.
On top of what the normal, you know, American, you know.
Right. So that was the food aspect of it. What else was different about growing up in a Caribbean household?
Music.
Okay.
Is very different. I pretty much calypso.
Okay.
I can't sit here and say that, you know, I was listening to WDAS all while growing up.
Right.
Can't tell you that. No.
Okay.
You know, we would go to New York and get some mixtapes and make it do what it do. When we came home, you know, that's what we did. But
Okay.
because my mom kind of started dipping into other music, kind of know that too. But the music, I think, even as far as it is with us being together as a family for the holiday, was different. There was no sit there, eat, snap some peas, and you leaving. No. You here for the day. There is no you got plans with your boys or your girls later on. No. That's like a day that you're in the house all day. So you might as
Interesting.
well hang out
Okay.
the next day.
Okay.
Black Friday.
Got it. So you grew up with both parents the entire time?
Not my entire time, but the majority of my childhood, yes.
Okay.
Up
So
until I was about maybe, I'm gonna say about a good 8, 10, even a little couple years after that.
so were you with just your mom or just your dad?
More so my mom.
More so
than
with your mom.
My dad.
And what's your mom's name, by the way?
My mom's name is Pat.
Miss Pat?
Nurse
Okay.
Pat is what they
Oh,
like to
Nurse
call
Pat.
her.
Nurse Pat. Okay,
They like to
okay.
call her Nurse Pat.
And your dad's name
My
is?
dad's name is Eric.
Eric. Okay. Shout out to Pat and Eric. Shout out to Pat and Eric. So you were with your mother. Now looking back, now that you're a grown adult, would you say that affected you the times that your dad wasn't there?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay. How so?
I feel like even though he wasn't there physically, I won't say that, like, you know, he still provided. We still had a roof over our head, food, you know, all that kind of stuff. However, you know, sometimes he wasn't around. So my brother had to step up sometimes and become the man of our household. So it just made me kind of learn as I got older, even being a woman, you could still be independent. Sometimes you have to be, depending on the situation, so.
Okay. So when your dad wasn't around, like, how often did you see him?
I would see him more so on weekends.
Okay. Okay.
You know, we would go to church or we'll go to McDonald's, you know, or I'll spend the weekend with him and, you know, my cousin. But one thing he did make sure was even though he wasn't physically in our household, he was still present.
Gotcha. Now, did you guys travel? So with them being from Trinidad and Grenada, did you ever go there?
I went there, my first time ever being on a plane was going to Trinidad. I was 8.
Okay. You
And I
remember
spent
that
the
vividly? What does Trinidad look like to you?
To me at that time, it was just like, kind of like rainbows. Like, you know, it always was sunny. Everybody was nice. Everybody slept with their door open, which I'm not used to.
Right.
You know, nobody knocked. People just came here and there. You know, the majority of your, you know, your eggs, your whatever is in your backyard. Like, I learned how to cut a chicken's head off and, you know, it was a whole different versus things just coming to me. You kind of have to do
Okay.
there. So it was kind of interesting at that age.
Got it.
Not knowing I'd never seen anything like that before.
So with that being said, let's talk about your relationship, your personal relationship with your parents. Describe your relationship growing up with your mom and with your dad.
My relationship growing up with my mom, I mean, the typical, you know, that was my baby. I was the youngest, so I was spoiled as hell. However, whatever mom didn't give me, dad did. Mom didn't like that. Now that I have 4 kids now, I'm learning. But before that, didn't really understand what the problem was. But,
Right.
With my mom, she just kind of was more the stern parent. She was the one that was more involved in certain things. You know, my dad kind of played the background. As far as my dad could go to him and talk about anything, even though they said that back then and that wasn't true.
Right.
But I told them what they wanted to know. I didn't tell them everything. But growing up with my dad, you know what I mean? I just was ridiculously loved no matter what.
Okay.
I did no wrong, which now that I'm older, it's a little different now.
Right.
Never did nothing wrong in his eyes, so.
But so would you say that your relationship with your dad at any point affected your relationships with like men as you got older?
Yes.
Okay, how so and why?
Situations that my mom and my dad went through growing up. Every household has their little problems, but them two, there were certain situations that maybe we shouldn't have witnessed or we shouldn't have been a part of. So to me, you know, it could be physically, sometimes it's emotionally, and as I'm an adult, if I am in a great relationship that's going fantastic, it seems odd to me because that's not what I'm used to. To me,
Okay.
there's no relationship that's completely perfect. There's no relationship. I feel like there are people that probably have come in my life that were fantastic, but to me, it's like, nah, you too good to be true. Something's
Okay.
wrong. I ain't beat.
Really?
So
Okay, got it. Because you
didn't think it
saw
would stick with me that long, but it did.
you saw some turbulence. Right.
So for that, I have different goggles, if you will, as far as it goes with
So
men.
whether or not you care to talk about it, you physically saw your dad hit your mom before?
Correct.
Okay, wow. And were you old enough to, I don't know, step in or just screaming or it's just normal?
No, I kind of just saw it. To me, it seemed, yelling and stuff. Okay.
Right.
Just kept it moving because I was smaller.
Okay.
Give me a snack and.
But you remember it and you saw it.
But I do. Yeah.
Okay.
And now
okay.
that I'm older, they actually, when we bring it up, it's like, I can't believe you remembered that.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
Got
I
it,
was
got
just
it.
small and people just thought because I was just a kid. I don't
that you
remember certain
would
things.
forget, but kids
Right,
don't forget.
You don't forget. Hello?
So having said that, you mentioned that you have 4 children of your own, four beautiful seeds.
Yes.
What are their age ranges?
Right now, since we're in the new 2020 times 2, my oldest is 22, my second one is 12, my third one is 6, and my last one is 3.
So with that being said, and the things that you just mentioned, you know how your parents raised you because you were there, right? What would you say are some of the similarities and differences between your parents' parenting style and your own?
With our similarities, I feel like the sternness. Out of my, crew growing up, I was the first one, to have a kid. So while they're out,
How old were you?
I was 17. I was pregnant at 16. They didn't have 16 and pregnant then. But I was 16. So a lot of things, they did. So the sternness, because they assume I'm a young mother. I was supposed to be more lenient. No, I'm still stern like my mother and father were. I don't tolerate, you can't curse. Sometimes I slip up and curse right now. I'm about to be 40, and I still won't curse in front of my mom. She'll kill me. Like, it's still just the respect aspect of it. Now, the difference is I'm more open to my kids coming to me if they need to talk to me about anything.
And do you really mean that?
I might need a moment, but I'll come back and we'll have a conversation. But I don't want them to be fearful to ever come to me or think that I'll be judgmental to them at all.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Interesting. And
working so far.
So you feel like, all right, so you are more of a stricter parent.
Yes,
You try to make your kids less fearful of you
correct.
so that they aren't afraid to talk to you. You have an open door policy that you mentioned. And you're the parent/friend.
Correct.
Okay.
Depending on the situation.
Okay.
I feel like you can be a parent and be stern, but you also have to have some type of leniency and kind of be that cool person. If they want to rap a taste, all right, let's rap a taste, But I always make sure that they do understand if I have to go back and change my hat and be that stern parent instead of like the fun one or the friend, it is what it is. They'll get over it. They'll go to sleep, have a snack. Next day, they'll be fine. Just saying.